Good morning. Welcome to my channel. Today's the 6th of February, 2024. Let's try and do a little stitching. I'm having excellent lighting because the sun is shining. It's a different matter if I can get my tripod not to tip over. I don't want you winding up on the floor again. You know, we did that a couple of times. It's no fun. Let's see. I finally got the missing part to the frame, but the frame is falling apart. So what we're going to do is to glue it. I don't have any better options, and I see nothing from the glare. Absolutely nothing. I am working on a February challenge. Which is fantasy. This is Fantasy Teacup. I got past the confetti galore in the corner. I did park a few threads. I'm having a little problem with the printing of this canvas. So I have to second guess because the holes are not exactly where the symbol is, the color is. It's an absolute gorgeous day today for February. Tends to be a little warm. It's supposed to go up to 16 centigrade, which is very warm for February. Up. We're going to have some knots. I did wax the thread, but still. Okay, I'm feeling something on the back. I think it should be okay. I have another color going over here, pink, and another color up here, which is yellow, the symbol. I think I have to cross this one over here, this stitch. I did find a wood frame from a company here in Hungary. I am waiting for it to be delivered. Also polyester thread, which I'm going to try and use for, I have a cross stitch with beaded cross stitch pattern, and like I told you, that invisible thread, it's so invisible that I can't see it. Yeah. I have put on some beads with white thread. Now these were like crystal color. And when I looked at the cross stitching, I did not see the thread shining through. So this is how I came to the conclusion that I might be able to do. The only thing that's stopping me from doing a beaded cross stitch is this fishing line or whatever they included with it, that I simply cannot work with. I do have an appointment with the eye doctor, and we're going to discuss it when it would be safe to reschedule the laser surgery on my eyes. You know, last year I had it all scheduled, but then I had this ridiculous heart attack. And because some of the medication I had to take, the doctor said it is not safe at the moment. Last year, she said. So we're going to see if we can reschedule. I have to go back to cardiology in August at the first year anniversary of the heart attack. I have no idea why, but I guess they want to see how well I healed, and I hope they will reduce some of the medication, because I think one of them that is like for thinning the blood or whatever, and there's another one that reduces blood clotting. Anyway, I'm getting bruise marks for no reason whatsoever. I mean, nobody beat me up. I didn't fall. I didn't hit myself. And could be the side effects of these two drugs. But the cardiologist said I have to take some of them only for a year, since my heart attack was caught just in the nick of time, which means I did not have as much damage as if I would have waited, because I was being rather stubborn. I kept on telling the ambulance guy, I mean, there was 5 of them here, that I'm just feeling a bit unwell from the unusual heat. And they said, okay. But after about the third or the fourth electrocardiogram that they did, they said, it's your heart? I go, there's nothing wrong with my heart. And they went, well, from what we can see, there's something very seriously wrong. So anyway, they unblocked whatever was blocked, and then the cardiologist said, we'll let nature do the rest. I don't know what, no idea what that means. I said, okay. Now remember, I had a whole bunch of pills and morphine in me, so I was feeling very well. Uh-huh. Like, do you have some more of that good stuff? Anyway, well, of course, for those of us that suffer from arthritis, this sudden warm weather, well, you know, it's ouch time. But that's part of life for those of us that had it for years or decades, like me. We are used to a certain amount. What is this? I don't know. I think I have to get another pair of scissors. Real sharp, pointed one. Because these scissors are wonderful and they're beautiful. This is why I got them. If you're going to have a hobby, you want to get all the cute stuff that goes with it. I am waiting for more packages. I will get my first monochrome. I think that's what it's called. Cross stitch. And I will get my first glow in the dark diamond painting. I never had one of those. It's a mandala, and from what I can see, it's all in my favorite color. So that's another monochrome diamond painting. So I will have a monochrome cross-stitch pattern that's in red. It looks something like a Hungarian embroidery. And I will have the mandala that glows in the dark diamond painting. And from what I can see, it was blue, not this blue color, but more of a smoky blue. I don't know. One of them will be delivered tomorrow because the Hungarian company delivers the next day. They're wonderful. Really very good store. However, they are limited as to cross-stitch patterns. I was looking at one of the patterns, one of the cross-stitch patterns, Venice, at the bridge. And actually, I took a trip there. So, travel down memory lane. I said, yeah, I think I want to do that. It's the bridge where you can make all the wishes. It's hard to translate into English. But we were sitting there with Mini Human, and we had authentic Italian pizza, which was absolutely terrible. We were so excited, We're right here in Italy, in Venice, and we're going to get authentic, real Italian pizza. And it was watery and well, it was a disappointment. But anyway, the memories are wonderful. Well, it wasn't as bad as this noodle with tuna fish or whatever. That was that was a challenge. But we did taste it. Come on, we gave it a go. After that, we went out to dinner. It was on the menu in the hotel. Which was included in a trip, breakfast and supper. And we make it a point that if we are traveling, we should taste the local food. And we did, like I said, we gave it a go. We did not fin- we did not finish the plate. We went out for submarines. It did have possibilities. Not for our taste, but it had possibilities. And I was like, well, I like tuna fish. I don't like pasta of any kind. I don't like carbohydrates. My body goes, what is this? What am I supposed to do with this? You know? Excuse me. There should be a hole here somewhere. So I figured, well, if it's tuna fish, I mean, how can you go wrong, right? I even forgot what it tasted like. And the waiter was taking some of the orders. I think there was two choices, and a couple that was a table with us wanted fillet of fish, but they wanted a slice of lemon on it. And I couldn't make the waiter understand that they don't want fried lemon. They want a piece of lemon with the fish. That was funny. The first question I asked, I don't speak Italian. This couple did not speak English. So I was trying to help out. And trying to make the waiter understand that they would like a slice of lemon with the fish. Now, I don't see where that was an unusual request. If you're going to have fish or seafood or something like that, we usually have a lemon with it. We also have a lemon with things like Wiener Schnitzel, But then we were in Italy. We were stationed at Jesolo, and then we went into Venice with the bus. There was a boat. Yeah. When you went along whatever sea that was, Adriatic Sea, whatever, I don't know, some salty water. Anyway, when you went along, because of course we had to go on a gondola, I mean, it's a must. You didn't see cars parked along the way. You saw little motorboats. It was the cutest thing. But I was just kind of wondering, wouldn't it be rather damp to live along those canals? And wouldn't you have a lot of rats or whatever coming from the water? I was just wondering out loud. Of course, I didn't ask the gondola driver or, oarsman or whatever you want to call it. I asked how safe it is. He said, well, my family has been doing this for 100 years. I go, well, first of all, you don't look 100 years old. And just because maybe your father and grandfather knew what they were doing, where's the guarantee that you know what you're doing? And then mini-human, with all 35 kilograms of him, says, oh, don't worry, Mama, I will save you from the sea. I go, I weigh about 80 kilograms. You going to save me? Who's going to save you? He's a male to the rescue. But it was a wonderful time, absolutely marvelous. And the things we saw in those churches, fantastic. How did they do it? Absolutely boggles the mind, when you see all the things they did in the older times without all the modern thingamajiggers. You're like, wow. I think we lost a lot of talent as far as building and survivor as we got more and more civilized. Do you think so? We lost the talent to survive, um, to use your imagination, to use logic. We expect things to be done by a specific kind of machines or what have you. I think for this reason, it's a very good idea to go on survival training. I was on survival training, and I had it all wrong. I thought survival training meant to be as miserable as possible. No, no, no. Survival training, we learn how to make the best of the circumstances that's given and how to make a comfortable, first of all, you need shelter. You need to build a fire. So how to make things as comfortable as possible. It's not the idea, when you go in survival training to be as suffering as much as possible, but really how to survive as comfortably as possible. How to make a comfortable bed. Make sure you line it underneath you because the ground will be cold, which I didn't think of. So I learned quite a few things. Well, I knew how to make a fire, I did live in a village, so yeah, we had that outdoor toilet. You do not take your newspaper in the winter to sit in the yeah. Because you might get frozen behind. Really, I think we lost quite a bit of our natural inborn instincts of survival. I like modern things just like the next person. I like to be comfortable, I like to be warm in the winter, cooler in the summer. However, we don't have as much, so shall we say, we don't have air conditioning because we don't really need it. It would be nice, but we only have a couple of days that are really sweltering hot, and the ceiling fans come in very handy. Also, the drapes, just block out the sun, and we can get about a 10-degree difference from the outside. From the outside sweltering heat. I have a knot on the bottom. Let me see if I can clean this up. So since I got those well, they're not blind. They're like curtains, but they're like panel curtains, and I put them up in the summer because I get the sun all day long, and there are 3 huge windows here, which means in the summer that's heating up, this small flat. Well, in a village, of course, it's much cooler because, first of all, the ceilings are higher, and there are what we call rollers on the window. There aren't any here. So I bought some of those dark drapes that you can't see through, and it did make a difference. And then I have the usual inside in Hungary, we have what is called the night drapes, the darkening drapes. So with the two of them closed, I could make it more comfortable. Now, right now, they are taking off the windows except for the bedroom because, hubby is in 3 shifts. So I try to make it as dark as possible, the bedroom, but he's a good sleeper. So he can get some rest. He was working Sunday night too. Yeah, I know, ridiculous, but he was. He's not complaining about it. I am. Like I can't make any plans for the weekend because I don't know if he's going to be working or what. So all week, starting Sunday, it's going to be a night shift. And last week he was feeling it, like he couldn't sleep. He was on morning shift, and he couldn't sleep at night because he was so used to working at night. So it was difficult for him to adjust to, sleeping at night and not working. Well, I don't know what's going on because his boss wants to know how well he knows English. I go, well, he already took the basic exam, and he's studying on his own. In Hungarian language, he has the first class exam, so there's no higher exam. And he did get his citizenship, so he's finished with that. English he's studying on his own, but he did put on the first official exam, so that's a basic English. I told him probably what your boss wants is conversation English when the foreign businessmen come to the factory, because it is an international factory. So you can show them how things are working and what you are making, etc., because he's the only one that knows how do those machines work. But he learned in Arabic how those machines work, and they are German machines. Oh, well. But he likes it. He has a great deal of freedom at the factory, His boss doesn't really care when when he does the work, as long as the work gets done. But I heard a couple of conversations when his fellow workers called him to ask him how to work the machines. So this is how I know that he knows what they don't know. And sometimes he stayed past his shift when the repairman was there. I guess he was watching how the man was fixing the machine. Because most of the time you can get the Hungarian repairman, but sometimes you need a specific one, and they have to come from Germany. Now, Germany is not that far away, but still, it's not like, calling up the guy from next door to come and fix whatever's broken. You know what I mean. I think it's because he has the patience to, I think this is the way they study, where he comes from, is to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. And this is how he learns, as far as how the machines work and the English language. He repeats and repeats and repeats. I told him he's got nerves of steel. I would go crazy doing that. But then it's about the same way how I learned English, you know. I mean, I don't know any other way. When you're learning something, you have to repeat and repeat and repeat. I told him, be careful of the Arabic teacher that's teaching English, because he's picking up the accent of the English teacher, which is usually the case if you are learning English from a foreigner. You do tend to pick up the teacher's accent. And there is a bit of difference, believe me, between Brit English and American English. I can tell you my father as an example. He studied English in school, where he learned 7 languages. He was a minister. And when we went to America, he had to learn American English all over again, because they accepted his credentials as a minister, but not as a teacher. So he had to acclimate himself to the American way of talking. Of course, we still retain to a certain amount of accent. I mean, you just can't get rid of it if your mother tongue is not English. I think right away, as soon as you talk for a bit, you do realize what your mother tongue is, because your accent will show up, if not in talking. But the weird thing is, when you're reading something, the accent is more pronounced. As far as German goes, I only know a few words. I did work for a German company for a very short time. So I do understand how they work. I was not thrilled with them. They had this attitude that they're better than Hungarians, you know, and they were sort of, how should I say it, treating the Hungarian workers as if they were, their servants or something like that. And I found that very offensive. Very offensive. I mean, my American upbringing sort of came out like, what makes you think you're better than I am? But they didn't know that I was American, see? Until I opened my mouth. And when I opened my mouth, they were like, oh, I'm sorry. We didn't know you're American. Oh, I said, well, you didn't know that I'm somebody? As long as I'm Hungarian, I'm a nobody? We're not going to play that game. And they're like, well, we meant no offense. I said, well, maybe you did not mean any offense. However, you are offensive. And I will not stand for it. That's sort of clear there. But the majority of the Hungarians will not speak up, We are raised to be too polite. Actually, I have learned not to speak up for the very simple reason. I don't care anymore. It's like, okay, whatever. you're here for a couple of hours, you're putting on your big act that you're somebody, and then you're going to leave, and that's the end of that, and probably we'll never see each other ever in my entire life. So why should I care about your opinion? Find that. Excuse me. I just had a wonderful reflux. Mm-hmm. I do apologize. Is everybody all right? I went to grab a drink and the camera fell. Okay, let me see. Anybody got hurt? Nope. Well, that hasn't happened in a long time. Remember with my old tripod? A couple of years ago, that kept on falling all the time. Oh, nope. I thought I had another knot, but no, at the end of the thread. Let's just finish this little bit of thread. That we have here. I have already threaded the other half of this one. This is the blue color. So we tried one type of glue to glue together this frame. That didn't work, so we have to get the kind of glue that will work on this plastic. So then I will have two large frames that have a bottom, that can stand. So I have another work in progress, the little girl with the bonnet. And then on the little one, I can put my beaded cross stitch with a very simple reason that I need to put it in a frame because I need both my hands. Definitely would have to take one of my stomach medicine. I haven't had the reflux since I came home from the hospital. And I had no problem keeping food down, which means I gained 3 kilograms, which I don't want. Oh, I have no idea which one of these medicines that is giving me such a great appetite, but it takes a little while to get, your body working back to normal. Like I'm not this young teenager. So age, I think, plays a role in how fast you can get back to normal. So, with full coverage, after a while, there's so much thread in the back of the work that you have a problem sticking the needle through, especially if the table's edge is in the way. Okay, you think I can get one last stitch in? Yep. Okay. We're good. One last stitch. Taking bet. I think it will work. Where's the hole? So, thank you very much for spending time with me today. Stay safe, stay healthy, be happy, and I will see you later on. Bye for now. Bye. Mwah.